But Airbnb is very interesting. So this guy, Frederick Joseph, who is he, by the way, this guy, Frederick Joseph?
Let's see who he is.
I like him. Author of The Black Friend, Forbes, under 30, marketer, founder, former national surrogate for Elizabeth Warren and Bernie Sanders. Fair enough.
Okay.
I like this guy because I like when people invite you into their private lives to make a public point. Yeah. I like this. I'm going to read his whole thread here on Twitter. He's trying to get a refund from Airbnb, but I've kind of done things like this. I give up because I want to just insult the company and lie about what happened more than I actually want my money back. So I will, I was famously in a feud with Dan Kim, the CEO of Red Mango, frozen yogurt. And then I would say that I was raped in his store. And to me, it was more important because I just said, let us make our own yogurt because they still made it for you at Red Mango. It was the heyday of self-serve and this motherfucker would. So then I just started claiming I was being raped in his store and that there were rapes happening in his store. Now that was more important to me than any type of real change. Do you see what I mean? I was just trying to use buzzwords to get attention and to upset him. I just want to upset people on social media more than I want to get something. Frederick Joseph says, we just drove 3 hours. My 8-year-old, wait a minute. We just drove 3 hours. My 8-year-old brother for a getaway. Okay. Another thing, folks. Let's do the grammar a little bit if we're going to go out and call out a company and try to make a little money, which I have nothing against. We just drove 3 hours. My 8-year-old brother for getaway in the house we arrived at ended up having seemingly satanic items and stuff for witchcraft rituals. We had to leave because my brother and the rest of us were frightened, but Airbnb won't refund me thread. So now the first 4 pictures are a Bahamut, so go up here. We got Bahamut, which is creepy because it's the goat figure with the satanic pentagram, and then 2 children looking up at Bahamut, and then next to it is a picture of a goat. It is creepy. The people that own this house are probably Satanists, but many Satanists aren't really dangerous. They're annoying. They're just people that tried to get into something because they couldn't figure anything else out. They're like, I'm going to put a bunch of candles around my apartment. Right. Hopefully my life now has meaning. Spoiler alert, it does not. It does not. Your embrace of the dark arts notwithstanding, go to work, please. I rented this house to do writing and spend time with my fiancé, brother, and cousin. Already, I don't love that idea. Already, I don't love the idea of you going with your fiancé, brother, and cousin to do right. Why are you going somewhere to do writing with 3 other people? I don't believe you're doing any writing. Be honest. I rented the house to work out, and I brought with me a cake. It doesn't make any sense. I call out companies all the time, but again, I'm never looking for a refund. I'm just looking to get someone in the company very nervous about something, even for a split second, and then they find out I'm a comedian and then move on. But even for just a split second, if somebody at Red Mango has to read the words, I was sexually assaulted in your frozen yogurt shop. And I started doing this because I had the chocolate sorbet soft serve, which had sorbitol in it, a sugar alcohol, which made me shit myself for 72 hours like I had dengue fever. I basically had malaria, okay? And it was not nice. So then in order to kind of right the wrong there, I then started tweeting at Red Mango that I was viciously attacked. I had to delete the tweets. I was in danger of being removed from Twitter. I rented this house to do some writing, lie, and spend time with my fiancé, brother, and cousin. It seemed like a nice place, pretty basic layout from the listing pictures below. But as we drove up, we noticed there were no other houses in the area, just rundown shacks and no phone signal. Now, what do you think, Ben? Ben, you think everything's satanic, Benjamin. Every time we see a gnarled branch of a tree, Ben thinks it's a scene out of True Detective because he's always looking for Satan. That's what he's always looking for, Satan. He just wants someone to care about him, even if that person's trying to kill him. Ben just wants somebody other than his lovely wife. He just wants somebody out there to notice him besides me, and he thinks that person will be the Dark Lord. What of? What a lofty ideal. You think Satan's trying to find you so you can go golf? Does this seem weird to you that there was nowhere else up there?
No, this is just people trying to be edgy, right?
I think so, but let's go on. We're not done with this yet, okay?
Okay.
When we walked up to the house, we noticed an animal skull hanging on the outside of the house. So I went, by the way, I had an experience like this. I had an Airbnb in Montauk, and it was all Native American stuff.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying that Native Americans are Satan, but they've got some animal skulls and some things. It was a motif. The decor was not for me, especially because it was a white woman named Sarah. Okay? Now, you know the way I feel about cultural appropriation. I think it's bullshit. But I do get uncomfortable when a pretty, peppy white chick serves me chicken and waffles. I want a mean, middle-aged black woman who's seen things to hand me my chicken and waffles, okay? And I want her to call me sugar. And then I want her to go in the back of the restaurant and say, call me that big motherfucker. I don't want some girl who went to Oberlin College. I don't want somebody named Sarah renting out a shack in Montauk and fucking, thinking she's Pocahontas because she's threw a bunch of fucking quilts in it. Sarah, you're the person that gave them the smallpox blankets. You. When I went to the basement and found more animal skulls and ritualistic floor markings. Where are they? Does he have photos of them?
I don't think so.
And then I went up to the rooms to find much more. It is a creepy house a little bit. As we walked through the two rooms, we found a bunch of imagery, candles, books, etc. for rituals, and what looked like devil worship. My brother was terrified, as were we. We called Airbnb. See, I would have fun. If I was a Satanist and I had this type of house, it is creepy. I would put a picture of John Podesta in the kitchen and a picture of Hillary Clinton. Just fun. Have a little fun with it. Have a little fun with it. We called Airbnb and told them we couldn't stay there and explain the situation. Keep going down. We were told that we couldn't receive a refund, and they spoke to the owner, who said they were just a few small art pieces and that they could come remove. This was a lie. It was a whole damn house, not a few things. A Bahamut hidden behind a dead bird in a bag. There was also a bridge from the woods behind the house to the back patio. Needless to say, we left because we were black. I don't know what that has anything to do with this.
I don't understand that either.
But I guess it's like a movie. Like they're like, this is a horror movie. We're black. We know this works.
Yeah, I guess.
But I get it. Black, white, Asian, whatever. Pacific Islander. Norse people, Nordics, whatever. Who's ever out there. I understand this is creepy. Needless to say, we left because we were black and not dealing with something that was, one, advertised, completely different. Wouldn't it be funny if we went to the Airbnb listing and they were like, it literally says Satan's Lair. There's some angry Airbnb person that's like, it says Satan's Lair in the description. It says for losers who couldn't finish a screenplay that now have an interest in fucking Satanism, weird German philosophers, and the dark arts. Looks like a scene from Hereditary. Made the entire family feel unsafe. All of that to say, this isn't how guests should be treated. I use Airbnb frequently, and there are many reasons in this situation which should warrant a refund, especially our safety, mental, emotional health. So a lot of people, we closed that out, but there's a lot of people on Twitter that are now like, hey, fuckface, crosses make me feel uncomfortable.
Yeah, I saw that.
I go to Airbnb all the time. There's lots of religious artifacts that make me feel uncomfortable. Why should you get a refund? I walk in a house, I see Buddhas, I see all kinds of statues that are not in line with my religion. I don't know which side I come down on this. I think it's a little creepy. And then people are like, welcome to the country. It's like, that's not it. That's not the take, dummy. City guy doesn't understand the country. It's a creepy house. We would have stayed in it.
Yes.
We would have stayed. Mm-hmm. I would not have asked for a refund. I'd fill that house with a bunch of people to make the Satanists scared. Stand-up comedians. Desperate, sad comics. You think human sacrifice is scary? If you ever seen somebody over 40 do a TikTok, that ain't good either. That ain't nice either. But I would have stayed there. I don't think I would have asked for a refund. I don't believe in that black magic where I don't think you can get me. Baby, I'm protected. I'm protected the light of the Lord. I will redecorate that house in MAGA. Fuck, they'll come back to that Airbnb. They'll come back to that Airbnb. Guess who's on the porch? That looks like Tim Dillon and Candace Owens. And we're singing that Martina McBride song, Independent, let freedom ring. Let the white dove sing. Let the whole world know that today, Oscar's got an AK, it's a day of reckoning. What if I just replaced all the Bahamats with pictures of Oscar in a MAGA hat? Stop being a puss about everything. So Satanists own a house, they might have sacrificed a few people out. Who cares? I'm glad they're in the country. Whatever. Mind your beeswax.